Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time, we started up our adventure by running into someone named Skull Kid who stole our horse, stole our ocarina, and in a way stole our body because now he transformed us into a Deku Scrub. We are no longer a human boy, we are a Deku Boy now, and we're in a new world here. We have no idea what to expect. And we got tasked with a very important mission here by this man, the Happy Mask Salesman. We were told to find our precious item. He can help us transform back to a human, but in return, we must get him a mask. So, we have a big mission at hand, and I think it's time for us to finally go ahead and start it. So, let's open up these double doors and make our way outside. It is dawn on the first day, 72 hours remaining. We only have 3 days to get our stuff from Skull Kid, so we gotta make these 3 days count. He gives me the creeps. That mask salesman was the... Sorry, just thinking aloud. But 3 days, even if we never sleep, that still leaves us with a measly 72 hours. Talk about demanding. Well, don't just stand there. We're gonna go see the Great Fairy. Look, you want to find the Skull Kid, don't you? The Great Fairy knows what he's up to. She watches over everything. And just between you and me, the Skull Kid is no match for the Great Fairy. Go to the shrine near the North Gate. You'll find the Great Fairy in there. Alright, well we might as well just do what Tattle says right away. That sounds like a pretty good idea. So, up here is the North Gate. So, we go this direction, and we'll be in the north portion of this area. And this area we're in, as we'll get introduced right now, is Clock Town. This is pretty much our main center point here in the game. Clock Town is an area we'll be just kind of exploring a lot throughout our adventure, but this is where we want to be. In here is the Fairy Fountain, but, that looks a little suspicious. Oh no! The Great Fairy! Yeah, this doesn't seem like a big fairy. It's a lot of small suckers. Young one, please hear my plea. I have been broken and scattered to pieces by the masked Skull Kid. Please find the one stray fairy lost in town and bring her to this fairy fountain. So it looks like Skull Kid got to the Great Fairy first, and unlike what Tattle was saying, Skull Kid is actually a match for the Great Fairy now. If he was able to break apart one big bean into a lot of small pieces, that's some pretty serious power. I want to go ahead and talk to this guy over here who's dancing. What's this? Green clothes? White fairy? Sir, could you, by chance, be a forest fairy? Oh my! My name is Tingle. I think I am the same as you, sir. A forest fairy. Alas, though, I am already age 35. No fairy has come to me yet. My father tells me to grow up and act my age. But why? I tell you, Tingle is the very reincarnation of a fairy. Now, while I stand here waiting for a fairy of my own, I sell maps to help out my father. Lucky, lucky. You're so lucky to have a fairy. I know. We should be friends. Yes. In exchange, I will sell you a map for cheap, as a sign of my friendship. Will you buy one of Tingle's maps? So he has 2 maps for sale right now, Clocktown and Woodfall. We can't buy that Woodfall one as we only have 13 rupees, so we might as well buy the Clocktown map as it's only 5. Yippee! And here is a map of Clocktown. Now we can go ahead and easily see where we're going in town, as now we can't really get lost. The red arrow on the map shows you where you entered, and the yellow arrow shows you your current location. Well, call again. Tingle, tingle, cool and blah! These are the magic words that Tingle created himself. Don't steal them. Do you have a copyright on those? Because, I hope you do for your sake. Otherwise, I'll just easily steal those. So, we have to go around town now that we have a map. We can easily do this, but we have to go around town and try to find ourselves a broken piece of a ferry. And we'll go ahead and do just that. So, going back down the South Clock Town here, we can go ahead and kind of explore around here a bit. And I don't really see any ferry here, but I do want to show off something. This dog does not like Deku Scrubs. This thing will attack you whenever it sees you here in town. Luckily, he does not do damage, so if you get hit, you're not going to be hurting yourself, which is good. You only have 3 hearts to begin the game. You hold the sacred sword, leave proof of our encounter. I have Deku Nuts, does that count? I don't have a sword right now, it's kind of somewhere else. Sorry, buddy, we'll come back to that statue later. So over here is yet another piece of Clocktown, West Clocktown. Here's where you're gonna have all your shops. So we have a bunch of different things over here we'll be coming to a good amount throughout our adventure, because over here, if we go ahead and check this sign, this is the bomb shop. This is where we can buy explosives. Down here, we got ourselves the trading post. Trading post is where we'll go ahead and buy pretty much whatever, really. You can get hearts, potions, things like some extra ammo for later weapons, stuff like that. Here we got the curiosity shop. Think of the curiosity shop like a pawn shop. This is where you can buy and sell goods, so that's another thing to remember from later. But over here is something very important. Hey there, little guy. Won't you deposit some rupees? Nowadays, even if people have money, they don't deposit any. Nothing. So for a limited time, I'll give you a special gift based on how much you deposit. For example, if you deposit 200 rupees, you'll get an item that holds a lot of rupees. So what will it be? Deposit or don't deposit? There's a lot of options. I guess we'll deposit some stuff. Alright, so how much? We'll start off small. We'll give you 2 rupees. Really? Are you really depositing 2 rupees? Yeah. That's it? That ain't nothing at all, big spender. But if you say so. So, little guy, what's your name? Huh. Link, is it? Got it. I won't forget your deposits. Let me stamp you with my special ink. Hey, relax. It doesn't leave any marks, and it's not gonna hurt. There. Now I know you when I see you. Alright, little guy. Now I got a total of 2 rupees from you. Come back and deposit after you save up a bunch. Well, what does Tattle want to say? The Skull Kid has gone too far. We can't just let this happen. Quick, we have to find the stray fairy in town and return the Great Fairy to normal. Whoa, look at the time! You only have 3 days left. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's continue our search for that fairy. So back in South Clocktown, we have this little area over here. So let's just make our way into this little cutout. And here we got the laundry pool. This area, luckily for us, is very important right now because there's the fairy we've been looking for. Please hear my plea. The masked Skull Kid has broken me apart and scattered my pieces. Please find a way to return me to the fairy fountain in North Clocktown. So now we got ourselves this fairy, and we gotta go ahead and return her back to the Great Fairy Fountain in North Clocktown, as it just said. Now you can actually grab that fairy whenever. You don't need to go to the fairy fountain to get that dialogue from the scattered fairies to tell you to go collect the one that's missing. You can do that whenever you want, but I figure let's go ahead and actually learn what's going on with the Great Fairy before seeing a piece of her out in the wild. So our last little stop here for us is this portion of Clocktown, which is East Clocktown. This is where you're going to go ahead and play a bunch of different mini games, but we can't really do any of these right now as a Deku Scrub. They won't really let us play anything because everyone in this town is going to look at us as a very young kid. And because of that, we can't really do much because of our age, or at least according to them. We're the twin jugglers from the Gorman Troupe. We're practicing for the big carnival. It happens once in a blue moon. Or in this year's case, once in a really, really scary red-eyed moon. Oh, I hear it's gonna fall harder than the way my clumsy brother is always dropping our juggling balls. You see, we're entertainers. We must keep people smiling, no matter how grim things get. We must always be optimistic. What did I talk about? Moon? I didn't notice anything really that wrong. There's not very much of a... Okay, that's a big moon. That's a very big moon. Okay, now I can see why people were talking about the moon here. What are you doing? Aren't you going to take the ferry to the shrine near the North Gate? Whoa, look at the time. You don't have 3 days left. Get a move on. We know. We will. So, we should probably just make our way back to that fountain. But before we do, if you try to leave town, we got these guards out here that won't let you pass. And there's a good reason why. Wait a moment, Deku Scrub. Have you some errands in the canyon? It is dangerous outside the town walls, so I cannot allow a child like you to go out alone. Until you're old enough to carry a weapon, you cannot pass through here without being accompanied by an adult. So there's your reason. They don't let us through because we're a young little kid, and we can't really do anything because of that. So until we have our sword back, we can't leave town, sadly. So for now, let's just go ahead and make our way over to the Great Ferry over here and give back this one piece to make the whole ferry, well, whole again. Tattle, and you, young one of the altered shape. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. I thought that masked child was helping me, and I grew careless. All I can offer you now is this. I shall grant you magic power as a sign of my gratitude. Please accept it. Now we've been granted magic power. In our current form, we can press the B button to shoot bubble blasts. So now we have a projectile. Press and hold the B button to blow a big bubble. Release B to shoot it. Your magic power decreases when you shoot. Replenish it with magic jars and potions. The man who lives in the observatory outside of town may know the Skull Kid's whereabouts, but be careful. You must not underestimate that child's power, kind young one. If you ever are to return to your former shape, come see me. I shall give you more help. We'll definitely remember that for the future. For now, though, we're going to just take our new magic power and leave. So now we have ourselves a projectile. We can go ahead and do a couple different things in town, but there's this flower right here I want to go ahead and use because over right across this fence, there's a thing that we can go ahead and actually do here as a Deku Scrub. So, read the sign. We'll see that this is the Deku Scrub playground. So, this is perfect for us. As we are a Deku Scrub, we have an area specifically just for us. So, down here we got 2 other Deku Scrubs here and a whole bunch of rupees just flying around. This is our first mini game. How about it? Would a young one play? One game is 10 rupees. Sure thing, I'll go ahead and play. Alright then, use this Deku Flower and have fun. If the time it takes for you to get all the rupees is faster than the current record, you'll get an extravagant prize. But if you fall down below just once, it's over. The best time for today's game is 1 minute and 15 seconds. Get all the rupees faster than that. Okay. Bear into the Deku Flower, and then the game begins the moment you jump out. Alright, let's go ahead and burrow down. So, just like the guy said, the game starts as soon as we start moving out of that flower. So, we need to collect all these rupees here in under 1 minute 15 seconds. It's really not that hard, but we want to go ahead and be careful because it's very easy to fall off here in this game. One thing I did not mention about this Deku Flower is that you have a short amount of time you're actually allowed to fly in this state. You can't fly forever. So when Deku Link here is getting tired and he can't fly for that much longer, he'll start wiggling around with the flowers. and that tells you that you need to land very soon as you are running out of time. But you also can't stay in place for too long with the Deku Flowers as well, because you start descending ever so slightly the moment you're in the air. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So here I'm just gonna barely make it in time, and that is it. It is all over. We did it. 47 seconds and 94 milliseconds? Amazing! It's a new record. Take this. Got ourselves 50 rupees. My face is beaming. That's a lot of money right now. I'll record this time. So what's your name, young one? Link? That's a strange name for a Deku scrub. If you can, come by again tomorrow. Alright, I guess we'll keep that in mind. We don't need to talk to the other scrub. We pretty much got our mission in hand here, so we'll come back tomorrow and play again. Who knows, maybe the game will be a little bit different. But it looks like it's starting to turn nighttime here, as it's very orange out, so you can definitely tell the sun is setting. But now we can actually afford that other map here from Tingle. So we can go ahead and blow a bubble, and we can go ahead and shoot down his balloon. Doing so, we'll get him to just fall right down. So we go ahead and talk to him, and, well, he'll sell us some more maps. So we can go ahead and buy the Woodfall one now for 40 rupees. You might as well. We have the money. Not very much you can do with the money in this early stage of the game, so I'm going to go ahead and buy myself another map. And that's all he's got for now. And every time you talk to him and buy a map, he'll still say his magic words are Kulumba, but we know the drill here. So now it's night of the first day. Notice how Tingle's gone. He kind of only works during the day, so that's kind of why I also want to buy a map right now, because he left the area and he won't be back until tomorrow. So that is that. The Great Fairy said the astronomer knows the Skull Kid. Hurry, we need to find a way to get out of town and to the observatory. Well, look at the time. You only have 3 days left. Yeah, I know that by now. Thanks. What are you doing here, kid? What do you want, shrimp? I'm busy practicing with my blowgun. If you can't pop that balloon, then don't mess with Jim. Ugh. Can't pop the balloon, you say? Yeah, let's prove you're wrong. I did it, kid. My snot bubbles are more powerful than your little blowgun. Are you the one who just popped that up there? Not bad for a Deku scrub. We bombers have a hideout that leads to the observatory outside of town. How convenient. You need a code to get in. Maybe I'll tell you what it is. But don't think you're getting it that easy. I can't just tell you what the code is. You have to pass my test first. Are you ready? Yes. Alright, line up, guys. If you can find all 5 of us by tomorrow morning, I'll teach you the code. Are you ready? I already hear one over here next to me, so I found one kid already. That was fast. Ah, you caught me. Now there are only 4 left. Well, this is easy so far. And if we just continuously look around town, we'll probably find these kids. So it shouldn't be really that bad, but I want to destroy this grass. This grass here, as you see, moves around as soon as you start hitting it, so you have to move quickly to get all the rupees. After a while, those bushes do go away. I'm not doing anything suspicious. Really? Sure you're not. Oh, why do we have to play this stupid brat's little game? Come on, hurry up and find them already. Only 10 hours and 11 minutes left until morning. Yeah, that should be enough time, because I already found another kid. Unfortunately, though, this one's a fast sucker, so if a kid's too fast for you and you can't keep up, you can go ahead and shoot them with your bubbles, and that will stun them for a short amount of time. So there you go. Got their leader. There's only 3 more kids left. So that's it for this area. There are only 2 kids here in North Clocktown. So next up, let's head to East Clocktown. And this must be that other kid that we were told about where we need a code to get out of town. If you want to pass through here, you have to say the secret code. I don't know, so we'll just say a bunch of ones. Wrong. Jim said I can't let anyone who doesn't know the code in. You're not a member, they won't teach you the secret code. If you want to be a member, go see Jim in North Clocktown. Well, we already did that part, so we should just probably find more kids, like this one. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Let go of that chicken and get caught. Thank you. I'm going to leave that chicken alone because he may cause some problems, but I see a kid up there on the rooftop. That's a weird place for you to be, so let's just go ahead and get into this Deku flower and make our way up to the rooftops as well. Come here, you little sucker. Oh, he just fell off the roof. Well, I'm just going to shoot you now before you go anywhere else. You got to be careful with these bombers because they will actually run through loading zones. So if they're in a doorway, like behind that guard, which I've had bomber kids do before, then you can't get the kid until they run out. So you kind of have to be careful where these kids go. It's a little hard to manipulate their positioning, but you can do it. You just have to be a little careful and shoot them with your bubbles. Shooting with bubbles is the surefire way of making sure they don't get away from you. So using your bubbles are really helpful in this situation. Got some dancers here from looks of things, but looks like they're having a little bit of a hard time here. Don't bother us. It looks like they're still trying to perfect a dance move, so maybe we'll deal with them later. Who knows? Hey, there's our last kid. Let's just shoot him now before he gets away. And there you go. That was the last bomber kid, so we found all 5 of them. You're pretty good for a Deku scrub. If only you were human. Then I can give you an original bomber's notebook and make you remember. What do you guys think? No way! No scrubs! I guess not. Once we let some kid who wasn't human join our gang, and boy did we ever regret it. Sorry. But I'll teach you the code, just like I promised. I can tell you only once though, so pay close attention. Are you ready? The code is 35241. The entrance to our hideout is in East Clocktown. Alright, well now with the code in hand, we can go ahead and talk to that other bomber kid and actually get out of town. So let's go ahead and do that. It's just right over here, so East Clocktown isn't that far of a walk. So we know we have the code this time, buddy. So, as we were just told, it's 35241. That's right. If you know the code, then you're a member, right? Okay, here you go. There's a lot of cool stuff at that telescope guy's place. Oh yeah, and the Bomber Secret Society of Justice Forever. Alright, thanks kid. Seems like you forgot your memo there for a moment. That's not good, but at least you did remember it. So one thing to note about the Bomber's Code. The Bomber's Code there, you can't brute force and just guess to get in here because it is different every playthrough. Every time you create a new save file in Majora's Mask, a code is randomized for your file. So there's a bunch of different possibilities, and it's kind of hard to narrow down what it is. You could just sit there all day and try every single code in existence, but you'll be there for a very long time. I don't recommend it. Just learn the code from the bombers and just get a move on. I wonder how the astronomer knows the Skull Kid. Whoa, look at the time! You only have 3 days left! Yeah, I know. We can see the time at the bottom of the screen there, Tattle. We've seen it since the beginning. So if we go up here, we'll go ahead and find ourselves the astronomer. So let's go ahead and talk to him. Well, well, a strange-looking child has joined me today. Are you a new friend of the Bombers gang? Your manners seem much better than those of the young mischief friends from the other day. That ill-mannered troublemaker from the other day said he'd break my instruments. He said he'd steal my moon's tear. There's no stopping him. Even now, just watch him. He's probably causing trouble around the clock tower. Will you gaze into my telescope? Sure thing. So, we were told clock tower is where this guy could be, so let's take a look, and there's Skull Kid on the top of the clock tower. He's looking up, though, which I'm not sure why. Oh, there's why the moon was getting ready to cry. I didn't know moons can cry. I guess you learn something new every day. Hey, smack his rear at me! Oh, you son of a... Just wait until I get up there. Well, did you find that troublemaker? And that loud noise? What was that? Perhaps one of our moon's tears fall nearby? Go through that door and take a look outside. But I wonder how that troublemaker got on top of the clock tower. The only way up there is through the clock door, and that opens only on the eve of the carnival. That is a good question. But the thing that did fall is right here, so this is a moon's tear. That is one of the lunar rocks that has been blazing from the surface of the moon lately. They fall from what looks like the moon's eye, so I call them moon's tears. They are the rare stones valued by many in town. Well, if they're valued, we might as well pick one up, as one did just fall from the sky. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a free moon's tear. Its sparkling beauty radiates rather strangely. And if we pause the game, we can go ahead and equip it. So now we have ourselves a moon's tear. I did not mean to put on C down, but I guess it's on C down now, sure. But there you go. We got ourselves a moon's tear. We now know where Skull Kid is located. And we are a official, unofficial member of the Bomber Secret Society. It's kind of hard to say. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end things here. Next time, let's play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. We'll go ahead and see if we can find a way up to the clock tower and confront Skull Kid. I'll see you guys next time.